Hi guys, welcome back to Aesop's Artists. My name is Miss Chelsea if this is your first time with us. This week we are going to be learning how to make cactuses out of cardboard. So here's a list of things that you'll need. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. Here's a tutorial. Alright, so to start with, you want to put your cardboard down on the flat surface, and then I'm going to sketch out what I want my cactus to look like. And I think I want to do a tall, skinny one. Tall, skinny cactus. And this doesn't have to look perfect because you're just going to cut it out anyway. I'm going to put a cactus arm here. Your cactus arm, you're just going to make a U shape and then go back down, and then I'm going to put another cactus arm over here. Kind of backwards J, up and around, and then another J. So that part, so that way I know that my cacti, both my cactus pieces are the same size. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out and trace around it. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we will speed through this part of the video because it might take a little bit to cut through the cardboard. Okay, so after much struggle, I've got this one cut out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, we're going to lay it down, we're going to trace around it if you want the same exact shape. If you don't, then you can take the basic shape and then you can draw in different arms if you want. Or you can leave it without any extra cacti arms. But I think I would like to have cacti arms on all of mine. All right. And then we're going to repeat that process of cutting out the cactus. All right. Okay, now we have two pieces that look identical. Now that we've got that, what we are going to do is we need to make a notch on the very top of one and a notch on the bottom of the other so that we can slide them together. So what I usually do so I don't actually cut too far is I just make a little slice. So we'll need to go just short of halfway. And we're going to do the same. I'm going to line up. I know that they line up correctly. Make a little notch. There we go. And then I'm going to cut about the same distance, just short of the center. All right. Now we're going to take those. We're going to slide them together to where they're nice and snug. And I'll show you a little trick to keep them from bending flat in just a minute. I just want to make sure. All right, so we haven't cut.
Get in the view.
We haven't cut far enough in, so I'm going to slide those apart and cut just a little further. Actually, I'll go ahead and show you a little trick. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut just to the side of it, make a little, shave off a little bit more. I'm going to cut. We'll try about there. What we need to do is shave off just a little bit more of that cardboard. Into that center part, so you got a little groove that looks like this. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Let's see, I'm going to shave off just a sliver more. I'm going to cut cut a little bit further up. There should do. Continue cutting off the rest of that little bit of a sliver. We're going to go ahead and slide our cactuses in together. You want to make sure that it's got a nice snug fit. All right, that looks about perfect. All right, and then your cactus will stand up. All right, for the next part of this, we are going to paint our cactuses. So I'm going to go ahead and slide them apart again. I'm going to grab an extra piece of cardboard. I'm going to lay it out. Get this out of the way. And if you've already got paint at your house, you can use that, or you can refer back to our tutorial from earlier this summer and use that to make your paint. But I am going to use the paint that I already have. I don't have any green, so I'm going to mix some. I'm going to make sure that my paint's nice and mixed. And we'll add the blue to the yellow. Mix, 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 mix. Then we're going to put a little bit of yellow there. And a little bit of blue. And I'm going to take the end of my paintbrush and I'm just going to mix, 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 mix. To get a nice green color. I think I'm going to add a little bit more blue to get more of a green. A truer green color than a yellow green. Alright, that looks good. I'm going to take my paint rag and wipe off the end of my paintbrush. And then we are going to take our green paint and we're going to paint our cactuses. Just a thin layer. So while we let these sides dry, I am going to go ahead and mix a little bit more and make a darker green so we can make our stripes on our cactus. Again, I'm going to get my other small paintbrush. I'm going to mix, 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 mix. Make sure those colors get nice and incorporated. You can either do this with a lighter green or you can do it with a darker green. I'm going to go with a slightly darker color green. And just a little bit more blue in there. Mix, mix, mix. All right, and then with that, I'm going to add a little bit of my black. Just a drop. And mix that in. Alright, that gives us just a slight darker color. I'm going to add just a little bit more black in there. Alright, that gives us a nice green color. And it looks like our paint on these sides are almost dry. Go ahead and wipe that off again. We're waiting for that to dry. Continue drying. I'm going to mix in a little bit. We're going to paint some little pink flowers, or at least I am. I'm going to paint a little pink flower on the tip of one of my cactus branches, and I'm going to make it pink. So I'm going to put a little bit of pink there. It's a little dry. Alright, and then I'm going to add a little bit of white. Just a little bit of white. Here. Use that for the center of the flower, and I'm also going to mix some pink because I will give it a little bit of different shades. Alright, you can probably see it on camera. You got the darker pink, lighter pink, and some white. We'll also use the white to make the little quills that are on the cactus. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and flip this over, and I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of green paint on this other side. And then after that dries, I will get right back with you and we will finish the rest of it. Alright, so for this part, now that our cactus pieces are dry, we are going to add our lines on them. So we're going to take a smaller brush and we're just going to get a little bit of our darker green, and we're going to start from the top and just make lines down. And you can make them as close together as you want, as far apart as you want. This is also where we're going to put our cactus needles. So we have our stripes painted, and now we need to add our needles. And you can add as few or as many as you want. So we're gonna make sure your little paintbrush is cleaned off. Take some white, and we're gonna just make little V shapes along the lines. I'm gonna do that on all of them. Alright, and I will meet you back when we're done. So we have our little needles all painted on both sides. And if you want to, you can stop here. If not, you can do what I'm about to do and make a little flower. I'm going to paint a flower on one of my tall ones and then on one of my short ones. I'm going to start with the darker pink. And then I'm just going to make a little wavy outline and then color it in or paint it in. And I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to do the same thing on my short one over here. And I'm going to do a little wavy design. I'm going to paint it in. Alright, we'll let those dry. We have our dark pink, and then we're going to put a little bit of light pink, not too much. We're just going to kind of go in the center and just kind of make another little squiggly outline. With our pink, I'm going to do the same thing over here. And you can follow the same shape that you did for the bigger pink or the darker pink. Just make sure that it's smaller. Alright, we're going to let that dry as well. So we have our pink flowers put on there. And then for the center, we're going to take a little bit of our white. And we're just going to take a little bit of our white and make little dots for the center. You're going to let that dry. So we're back and our flowers are dry. Now all we have to do is assemble. So we're going to take our 2 cactus pieces and we are just going to slide them together and make sure they're nice and snug. Once you've got them down, just make sure all the pieces are in the proper places. Do them. All right. And we have our finished cactus.
Spin it around so I can see the flowers.
Put our flowers there. All right. Now you have a cactus. You can make these as tall as you want, short as you want, make them round, make them skinny, really fat. You can put as many flowers as you want on them. If you want to get a little bit more creative and use something other than just paint to make it look more 3D. For the flowers, you can use pom-poms, pieces of yarn that you find around the house. You can find, if you have little tiny flowers, you can glue the flowers on there as well. But there you go. There's your final product. Final product. So you can create more, and if you want to keep them around as decoration for your house, you can put them in little pots. You can just sit them on the tables, desks, wherever you'd like. That is all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me for Aesop's Artist, and I will see you next week. Bye!